Hey everyone, welcome into my college football week 3 picks and score predictions across the board. Not too many big games on this week. However, there are a couple that definitely jump out at me. I went 8-1 last week. The only one I got wrong, unfortunately, of course, had to be the surefire pick of the week because Iowa's offense really sucked in the second half. That was a joke. I don't know how Iowa State won that game. Don't even ask me. I'm still agitated about that one, but all good. We're gonna rebound on that one, but it's all good, right? Like I said, I think roughly 90% of you also do not subscribe, or 90% of you that have watched these videos recently are not subscribed. I don't ask for much, but please subscribe to the channel. Please like these videos. Please share it. I'm trying to grow this channel. It's very important right now in the point of life where I'm at. Let's keep building things, guys. Please and thank you again. Thank you guys for watching and enjoying this stuff. It means a lot to me, way more to me than you could ever think. But let's get started. I don't have a whole lot of time. I'm going to try to make this faster than usual. So we have tomorrow night, Texas State versus Arizona State. I have 9 games to predict. This will be the first one. Arizona State's a 1.5-point favorite. Now, we know both these teams have been pushing these offenses a bit, having these high powered offenses. I think Arizona State shouldn't be favored. I don't know, though. I think they're favored a lot because I think it's mainly because of the rushing attack they have. They can run the ball very well. I think they're a top 10 rushing offense right now. But Jordan McLeod and this Texas State defensive line, I think, could end up being the difference here. This could go either way, folks. But I like Texas State to win this game outright. I'm feeling the over a little bit too. It's going to be a hot one down there in San Marcos, Texas tomorrow. But plenty of offense should be on display. Arizona State kind of struggled to put away Mississippi State. They were kind of trying to come back late, fell just short. This Arizona State defense, I don't trust at all. I think if it was at Arizona State, I would definitely take the Sun Devils, but I cannot trust them on the road here. This is their first road test of the season. But Texas State will have their hands full. Can they stop the rushing attack? Sometimes you just can't, but I'm willing to bet they do. We'll see. Tough one there. Number 14, Kansas State versus number 20, Arizona on Friday night. This is a good one here. We could see fireworks in this one. First time since 1978 these two teams are playing, if you can believe that. They've only played a handful of times. K-State looked pretty concerning on the road at Tulane. Offense came through a bit, where ground game did well. I don't really like the passing offense of the Wildcats. Avery Johnson still trying to gel in with these guys. I mean, he can run, obviously. He's a dual threat quarterback. Meanwhile, Arizona's having issues of their own. What did they take NyQuil before they played against Northern Arizona? What is going on? One week they scored 61 points. The following week they scored 22, and T. McMillan had only like 2 catches last week instead of 300 plus receiving yards. This 7.5 is a lot, and I know they're at home, but K-State's just unproven. I think they're overrated. This defense sucks. They got kind of lucky towards the end of the game too. K-State was getting torched by a freshman quarterback, even though they were on the road. I couldn't believe it. I was like, wow. K-State started slow. This should be a very good game on Fox. I like the Wildcats to win, but Arizona very, very likely covers the spread. I was almost going to pick Arizona. I almost switched my pick to Arizona, but you know what? I'm going to stick to my first gut instinct. So we're going to keep it at that. Next up, do not watch this game, not unless you're an Alabama fan. I don't know. If you're a Wisconsin fan, how in the world can you watch this one? Let's have the Wisconsin, everybody, where the almighty Badgers are a 16-point home underdog against number 4 Alabama. Alabama struggled against South Florida, but then they pulled away pretty late. That final score does not tell the entire story. Meanwhile, Wisconsin just is trash. They can barely beat they only have won by 2 scores against these mediocre to really just. I wouldn't say South Dakota is a bad FCS team. They're not. I don't think they are. But Western Michigan, what are they supposed to be this year? I don't think they're projected to do a whole lot in the MAC. Listen, I'm just going to keep it short and simple. Alabama's run game in general with Jam Miller and Justice Haynes, and also you got the passing game of Milroe and how he moves the ball. I like Alabama to dominate from start to finish, and this defense is going to shut Wisconsin down. I don't like Wisconsin at all. What do they really have that is enticing? Their offense doesn't really have like a superstar caliber player to me personally. After just looking at these names, I'm like, who are these guys? And Tyler Van Dyke's a just putrid, honestly. I mean, thank God Miami got rid of him because he was really irritating to watch while he was with the Hurricanes. So, to keep it short and simple, Alabama, I think, is going to dominate this game. This could be a shutout victory. Wouldn't surprise me either. Next, next up, oh brother, this game's Florida State versus Memphis. Yeah, when I saw this game on the schedule even before the season started, I thought, okay, this is going to be pretty good. Now, Florida State's 0-2. There are so many questions. The run defense is trash. They have the 12th worst run defense in the country, but they are like top 20 best defense. How the hell does that make sense? Florida State's been giving up over 350 yards per game. It's like, whoa, brother. And then the offense. We all know that how that's been. DJU. Hey, buddy, go get a job at Raising Kings or something. I don't know. Just stop playing, you know? Like, not unless you really want to somehow salvage things. Like, it's just an ensuing nightmare. Then we're like, okay, is it going to be Brock Glenn or Luke Krummenhoek going forward eventually the following season? Like, Florida State's going to be in a rebuild, honestly, next year at this point. I mean, again, retooling with the transfer portal doesn't always yield great results. Memphis is being projected by most people to be the group of 5 representative in the playoffs. This is a team that throws the ball well. They got a lot of that offensive production back, led by Seth Hennigan. Their defense is questionable. I wonder about this defense. They didn't have really much defense last year. That's like teams like Tulane and SMU walked into their place, albeit they had good offenses. Memphis couldn't stop them. And Memphis couldn't keep up with them, which I think is strange. Is Memphis going to key in on running the ball more? You know, they're gonna have Anderson run the ball more. I don't know. I have a very, very strange suspicion that Florida State is going to somehow win this game. I don't know why. If there's a time to back Florida State, is it now? I have no idea. Don't ask me. I'm just giving my opinion. Am I a true sports bettor? No. Am I this? No. I'm just some dude who likes to predict things. And yeah, I do watch some of these guys who does sports betting for a living, and I'll take some pieces and stuff of information from what they like, if they're credible, of course. You know, I don't try to straight up be like, oh, wow, this guy's this because he said this. I try to take things with a grain of salt sometimes. You know, it's tough. This is a tough game. Do not, if you care about your money, do not touch this game. Don't do it. Don't come anywhere near this game. Just watch it and have fun. Hopefully, Florida State's going to actually score 28 because they have not eclipsed 25 points this year. Memphis hasn't had a true test yet. They faced Troy, but Troy's been a lot worse. Or should I say, Troy is not the team they were a couple years ago. 6.5. 6.5 is the line. What? Don't ask. I don't know why. Now, holy crap. I screwed that up. Guys, I apologize about that. You guys just saw the final result for this game. I'm just going to leave it up for you. Yeah, I have LSU beating South Carolina. College game day is coming to South Carolina. This is an interesting choice. South Carolina versus number 16 LSU. Again, apologize about that. I was kind of, I wouldn't say scrambling, but I was trying to really figure things out last minute as to what I was making my surefire pick of the week, and I left last week, so my apologies on that. Yeah, I'm going to leave the score up for you. Don't skip because I want to say a couple things. South Carolina's defense has been quite electric, especially against Kentucky. I was very impressed with how they played. Now that offense, you know, crafty in ways. Lenore Sellers, he did get hurt, but he came back. He was 10 of 14, but he had 2 touchdowns, but he has already turned the ball over like 4 times. It's like, okay, that's a little concerning, especially when you're a dual threat quarterback and you're a young quarterback at that in college. Yeah, you're probably going to see some turnovers more than likely. Not unless they are one of the more rare specimens that can actually take care of the ball. LSU, I have no idea why people were buying LSU as a playoff team. I really didn't think they were going to be, and sure enough, I still don't think they're going to be. That defense really isn't that good. Their offensive line, though, is going to have to hold up against the South Carolina pass rush. Garrett Nussmeier had like 6 touchdowns against Nichols. Cool, bro. Nobody really cares. And besides, LSU struggled against USC. USC's defense may have actually improved a little bit too, which is what that tells me. Do I think LSU wins this game? I'm not very confident in it. I actually was getting this close to picking South Carolina. I didn't have a true pick, but then I'm like, you know what? I know South Carolina's at home, but that offense isn't exactly like completely efficient enough for me to trust this team. Sellers carries that offense a bit. You know, he might make mistakes. He could make a critical mistake, especially if LSU starts off faster, which they haven't done in the first 2 games. They've been slow. This is a tricky one. LSU favored 7. I think South Carolina is going to be covering this, but then again, I could see a situation where LSU wins by like 10-14. That's a tough one. That should be very interesting. I'll be keeping an eye on that one closely. Next up, we have a rivalry matchup. The next 3 to 4 next matchups are rivals. Actually, the last 3 to 4 I'm going to talk about here. Starting with this one, Miami of Ohio and Cincinnati. Oh, brother, this was a difficult one to really go through. Cincinnati's up to a 3.5-point favorite. I think that's a little bit shocking considering the circumstances with them last week and Miami's defense. Geez. Cincinnati has a great offense. We know that. They've been putting up numbers. Like, Brendan Sorsby's been excellent, especially with this connection with Xavier Henderson and that dual threat running back of Evan Pryor and Corey Kiner. But the thing is, this team cannot hold a freaking lead, it seems like, because Pitt came back and beat them. They were down 21 points. Towson even scored 20 points in this team. I really don't trust Cincinnati. Not a whole lot, to be honest with you, especially their defensive weakness, especially, but that offense definitely is clicking a bit. Miami, gosh, they looked horrible against Northwestern, but the thing is, that was a sample size. We didn't get much of a sample size from this team. This is a team that's projected to win the MAC. They're projected to become the first team potentially to win back-to-back MAC titles since, I think it was them, actually, back in 2009 and 2010. I don't recall, actually. I'm going to have to look that up. But this is a team that has a good defense, especially with MAC Player of the Year Matt Selpick. But I don't know if Miami's offense is going to do enough in this game. I don't know, man. I'm going to go Cincinnati to win just because I think at the end of the day, the difference is going to be, one of the main differences will probably be Xavier Henderson. But that's if he does not get locked up with this Miami defense. If they can get kind of around this defense just enough, Miami's offense, you know, again, and Northwestern too, they're kind of a grittier team, but Northwestern let Duke kind of score on them a little bit, so it kind of shows you too. Yeah, Miami's got to get some things going, and I'm not entirely sure if they're going to. That's a coin flip, honestly. I think Cincinnati's favored like 60% roughly in analytics. I'm not entirely sure, but tough one there. Next up, we have Florida versus Texas A&M. This was the hardest game to predict for this week. I have no idea what's going to happen. You know, do I care about either team? No. We'll start with Florida. They're going to start Graham Mertz, it sounds like. Why? Billy Napier needs to be fired. He has absolutely no clue what he's even doing. And besides, the whole thing of 2 quarterback systems worked before, okay, that was like 25, 30 years ago, bro. That's not going to always do you favors. Just because something worked a long time ago does not mean, or should I say not entirely, well, the way they worded it was, yeah, they've done it before. It's not like, I don't know, besides, like, Florida was, like, in the 90s, Florida had some years where they were very, very impressive. They obviously were the national champions in 96, but the thing of the matter is this, folks. DJ Lagway should be the starter. There's no question. And I think this Florida run defense could slow down Texas A&M's run game. All A&M did was ground and pound against McNeese. Ground and pound, ground and pound, ground and pound. Run the ball. Run the damn ball. Le'Veon Moss. Connor Wigman, are we not even going to trust this guy, I guess? I have no idea. I'm not impressed with Wigman right now. I don't know why I trusted him in week 1. Don't ask me because I really, really took an L on that one. On the chin, literally. And this Texas A&M defense has not been super challenged yet. Like Notre Dame, what are they, right? You know, like, they really lost to Northern Illinois. Come on. What a bunch of idiots, man. You're gonna tell me they go on the road and beat this A&M team who is just always consistently overrated, and then they turn around and lose to a MAC school. That's just real nice, isn't it? That's college football for you, and that's the excitement with it. But Florida, man, if right now, if sounds like with Mertz playing, I'm gonna have to take the Aggies. I hate to do this. I really hate to do this, but if I don't know, not sure. It sounds like Napier is going to be stuck up Graham Mertz's ass. Billy Napier looks like he loves having his head up people's asses a little too long, a little too much. Sorry, I have to say it like that. And I think A&M, again, they're an unproven team right now. They are. They're going to have to figure some things out. If DJ Lagway were playing, I'd pick Florida. I would no doubt pick Florida because they would be able to really challenge A&M vertically a lot better than Mertz. I think Mertz sucks. I don't think he's that good. The whole thing of Mertz having his great completion percentage, sure, last year, whatever. I don't care. I still think Mertz is, yeah, I don't think he's that elite of a quarterback to begin with. All right, very interesting game here. This is shaping up, I think, to be pretty good. We'll see. Depends. There is a chance for some rain. I haven't even been mentioning the forecast in this video. I just realized that's because I'm trying to get through this quickly. There are some chances for rain in some of these games, like Florida. There's a very, very low chance in the Miami-Cincinnati game due to Francine coming on up. That's going to be coming up here soon. In Wisconsin, mainly dry. This one, slight chance for some rain. A cool day, though, nonetheless, in Seattle. It's actually at Lumen Field, so it's technically, they call it neutral site, but it's technically home field for Washington still, in my opinion. Washington State, the Apple Cup. 4.5-point favorite is for the Huskies. Last year this game came out of the wire. We remember Washington was on the ropes in this game. They were ranked number 4 in the nation, and that kick saved them from disaster. This is a completely different scenario now. Washington State, I found it interesting how they won by 21, but let Baron Morton of Texas Tech throw for 330 yards. Turnovers shot Texas Tech in the foot in that game. Washington State's defense is not very good. They give up a lot of stuff. But Washington State's offense is just stupidly, impressive. I can't even begin to just tell you. Along with their quarterback, John Mateer, he had alone, oh my gosh, 400 to 500, feed almost 300 to 350 yards of offense from himself. Something ridiculous like that. Washington has been starting off slow in some of these games, but then they get going. Will Rogers is playing solid. I don't know, man. This line just seems suspicious. 4.5. Why? You would think in a spot like this, the line would be 3 to 4 or something like that. Or, I don't know, man. I think Washington State pulls off the upset, and I have the over hitting. I am going to have my surefire pick be the over in this game, because I don't think Washington's defense is that good. There's no way, to be honest with you, because you look at stats and be like, well, Washington has the top 20 top total defense in the country. They have played nobody. This will be far and away different from a team like Eastern Michigan or Weber State. Washington State's going to shred that Washington defense. But I also think Washington State's defense is also going to get busted up a bit too, pretty well. So, give me the Cougars though in an upset. I do not trust Washington. Actually, do I trust really either team? Not completely, but you know what? I'm going to say the Cougars win. I think it's not like we're expecting either of these teams to do big things this year. So, let's take a chance on the underdog here. Finally, the Rocky Mountain Showdown between Colorado State and Colorado. This is a little bit difficult to predict because not only is CU favorite 7, Colorado, man, they're undergoing some issues right now. And Colorado State, I don't know what to think of this team. I really thought this team was going to put up a better fight against Texas, but they didn't. They scored 0 points, and then they won their following game against Northern Colorado 38-17. Fowler Nicolosi, game managed a little bit. He only threw 200 yards, but the run game was prominent in that one. Now against this Colorado team who's just super dysfunctional, Shedeur Sanders needs to just stop talking. Get the microphone away from him. He's got piss poor leadership. I mean, come on, dude. I mean, this Colorado team is just a joke. I mean, what the parity with this team is ridiculous. Let's leave the field with a whole 2 minutes left to go in the game and leave the team on the field. Yeah, that's real good. That's real. That's being a real good teammate. I don't give a damn if my team is down 49-0. Am I going to leave the field with 2 minutes left? Absolutely not. I'm still going to stand there with my team until the game's over. Sportsmanship just lacks this team, I swear, in some cases. Like, it seems like with Sanders is just having this piss poor attitude in the post game conference. I mean, he's raw. I mean, he's completely just talking trash about his offensive line. I mean, the offensive line did not hold up. I mean, besides, you're facing a Nebraska defense that has improved, first off, and Nebraska just dominated them from start to finish. Like, it seems like Nebraska systematically broke this team afterwards. I don't know, like, because Shedeur Sanders just did not hold back at all. Or should I say systematically broke Shedeur himself especially, but no, Colorado State. Last year, these two teams went to war, double overtime game. Will be something similar. I have no idea, honestly, because Colorado State. We'll see. They are the home team here. Rough score prediction. I don't know what it's going to be, but I do think the Buffaloes will win this game. I'm pretty confident in that, but, and I do mean with a big but. Oh my gosh. Just ignore what I just said there. I do mean this with a very, very big, question mark. I have no clue if Colorado State's going to score 30. This Colorado State defense does suck a lot. So they should be able to put up some points here. Should be a good one. We'll see. Thank you guys, though, for tuning in to these picks. Appreciate it. As always, I can't believe we're already through 3 weeks of this. Week 2 NFL picks is up. Please go check that out. Next week, week 4 of college football, week 3 of the NFL. I will eventually, probably halfway through the season, do a mock playoff look for both NFL and college football. Probably roughly late October, early November. Probably we'll see. But stay tuned, guys. And also, I'm going to try and start doing like a once a week videos with like weather forecasting in general. Also, keep in tune to the Stormfront series. I think I'll record the next episode next week, and that will also entail my next running race. Lots going on this channel, guys. Please keep staying tuned and take care. Have fun this weekend watching the games with whatever you're doing as well with other life activities, and I will see you all in the next one.